Hello dear students, this is the second video of this week, class 8th, and in the previous class you have studied the following topics. We have discussed about types of cloud, that is public cloud, private cloud and hybrid cloud. I have also discussed their advantages and disadvantages, and in this class I am going to discuss the risks related to cloud computing, and we will discuss the limitations of cloud computing also. So let us come to all the risks. You can see there are following risks related to cloud computing. First is security and privacy. Second one is lock-in. Third one is isolation failure. Fourth one is management interface compromise. And fifth one is insecure or incomplete data deletion. So we will discuss each topic one by one. Let us come to the first topic, children. First, you should revise the topic cloud computing. As you know that cloud computing refers to the manipulating, configuring and accessing the hardware and software resources remotely means you have kept the data at one place on the server, and you can access the data, you can edit the data from different places. Okay, you can be anywhere on the earth and you can access that resource remotely. This type of facility is given by cloud computing. It offers online data storage also, infrastructure and application. And some of the examples of cloud computing are Google Drive, Google Docs, Dropbox, Amazon Web Services, and OneDrive are the examples of cloud computing services. Now, last point, cloud computing offers platform independency, as the software is not required to be installed locally on the PC. If you are having your laptop or tablet, no need to install any software, as it gives the facility of platform independency, means you can turn on your internet and you can directly access the data on internet on server. Okay, they will give the facility, cloud the cloud service provider will give you the facility, all the types of data you will find, all the types of applications you will find on the cloud computing server. Okay, no need to install any software. So first risk related to cloud computing. First risk is security and privacy, as it is the biggest concern about cloud computing, since data management and infrastructure management in cloud is provided by the third party, and it is provided by the third party, that's why your data is not secure. Okay, you cannot rely on the third party, because maybe your data can be hacked or your data can be misused, so you cannot rely on third party. And it is always a risk to hand over the sensitive information to cloud service provider. There is always a risk. Okay, and one thing more, students, if you want to use cloud service, then you should not use any new company. You should use the trusted company like Google, Amazon, which are also known as IT giants. Next risk is lock-in. What is lock-in? It is very difficult for the customer to switch from one cloud service provider to another. Means they are locked in, and it results in dependency on a particular service cloud provider for service. You cannot jump to another cloud service provider. It becomes very difficult for any type of customer to jump from one cloud service provider to another. So this type of difficulty is faced by the user. Next one is isolation failure. This risk involves the failure of isolation mechanism that separates storage, memory, and routing between the different tenants. Tenants means those person who are taking the facility of server. Okay, so suppose thousands of persons are there, so it needs that the data of thousands of persons must be separated. Okay, they are not mixed up. So this risk involves the failure of isolation mechanism that separates storage, memory, and routing between the different tenants. Another example is the leakage of information between tenants, which can happen on the cloud storage. One information of one person can be leaked to another person. Okay, it can be passed to another person. So that type of risk is there, and that is termed as isolation failure. Next point is management interface compromise. In case of public cloud provider, the customer management interfaces are accessible through the internet. With the help of internet, they can access the customer management interface. Okay, and therefore there is an increased risk, especially when combined with remote access. Now, uh, so so the customer should ensure the provider offers secure interfaces. Customer should always ensure that the provider always offers secure interfaces with good authentication mechanism. Understood? As you can see the last point, it is very important that the customer should ensure the provider offers secure interfaces with good authentication mechanism. Now, next risk is the insecure or incomplete data deletion. It is possible that the data requested for the deletion may not get deleted. It happens because either of the following reason. Sometimes it happens that any user who has taken the facility of cloud computing, he wants to delete the data. Okay, and the request to delete the data is given to the cloud service provider. Okay, and the data request for the deletion may not get deleted. The data may not get deleted. It happens because of the following reasons. First reason is the extra copies of data are stored but are not available at the time of deletion. Second, disk that stores data of multiple users is destroyed. So these are the reasons why your data is not deleted. Sometimes it happens on the server, and due to these reasons your data are not deleted on the server. Now, limitations of cloud computing, and it also covers some of the risks which you have already discussed. First one is the availability of services. These are the limitations of cloud computing. Second is data lock-in, which you have studied in risk of cloud computing. Third one is the data segregation, means isolation of data of each user. Each user data must be isolated, must be separate. Fourth is scaling resources. Sudden demand of increased resource came. If sometimes it happens that some user wants the sudden increase of resources, that suddenly it wants such types of high storage capacity or such types of resources which cannot be possible on the cloud storage. Okay, so it is scaling resources. Sudden demand of increased resource came. Sometimes sudden demand of increased resource came and it cannot be fulfilled. Now, next point is location of data. If you are using cloud service provider, if you are using the cloud services, then your data can be saved any place, at any place, anywhere in this world. Your data can be saved in America, or your data can be saved in South Africa, and even you don't know where your data is saved. So you must know the location of your data, where your data is going to save. Okay, but this is the limitation of cloud computing, that You will not know where your data is going to save. Next is the deletion of data. Deletion of data, sometimes it is not possible. And next, last step is the recovery and backup. Recovery and backup of your data is not there. So these are the limitations of cloud computing. And two types of cloud environment. One is the end user has no idea about cloud complexity. Two types of cloud environment are, first is the end user which has no idea about the cloud complexity, and second is the cloud service providers who has control over cloud environment. He has full control over cloud environment. So these are the topics which we have discussed today. So I hope you all have you all have watched this video very nicely. Okay, thanks students. Thanks for watching this video.